What the hell is wrong with Xbox? So apparently Redfall is supposed to be a 30 frames per second only game on both Xbox Series consoles at launch. Let's look into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I was planning to do a bit different Redfall video today. I was planning to talk about the latest IGN gameplay for that game. They made that video showing the latest gameplay from Redfall, the co-op mode really. And let's face it, it wasn't good, right? Even if you read the comments, like everyone was just basically saying that like it just don't look good. I mean, the gameplay does not necessarily the game itself. So there was quite a lot of criticisms towards IGN, and obviously some people started talking about the fact that the game will be shit as well. But you know, there's actually plenty of other videos, gameplay videos from that game, so I'm actually pretty hyped about this game. I really can't wait to play Redfall, at least the single player. I don't really care about the co-op, so I can't really talk about co-op much. You know, the co-op may as well just look like that IGN gameplay, but you know what, I don't care. As long as the story mode, the campaign, single player campaign will be good, I'll be totally fine. So yeah, I can't wait to play Redfall. Now, the problem is that this happened today. So Redfall Twitter account informed us officially today that Redfall is launching on Xbox consoles with quality mode only. Xbox Series X 4K 30 frames per second, Xbox Series S 1440p 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second performance mode will be added via game update at a later date. Okay, so there's two things about that. One, it tells me that looks like this game is nowhere near finished because I mean, yeah, performance mode and basically locking down the performance is usually done at the later stage of the, I guess, optimization process and stuff. So if they either came across some issues with that game engine, or I don't know, console maybe, that doesn't allow them to play this game at 30 frames per second. Maybe it has something to do with co-op mode. I don't know. Like, it may be the case, to be honest with you, because like this is not the first time we actually hear that co-op on Xbox is an issue, right? Like there's this thing about Baldur's Gate that you know, developers were saying that, you know, they couldn't still announce the official release date for the Baldur's Gate 3 because of the fact that they've got some technical issues on the co-op side of things, right? Now we are hearing that Redfall cannot be run at 60 frames per second, not at launch at least, right? And this is mighty disappointing. And like I said, I don't know whether that means that the game will be coming out hot. I hope not. I hope it's going to be well optimized and that kind of stuff. There's been a lot of previews from last month, I think, and they were actually rather positive, but they were actually playing single player mode, I think, campaign. So, you know, I'm just speculating that this may have something to do with the co-op mode. But still, guys, like, so that's one thing. Like, it might be that this game is coming up hot, and well, hopefully it's going to be, you know, optimized properly. I mean, you can't really say that it's going to be properly optimized if it's only 30 on consoles. But another thing is that this is a first party title we're talking about here, right? Like, this game has already been delayed once, maybe even twice, who knows? Like, I mean, the Redfall was supposed to be a 2022 title, right? I mean, it was actually planned for like first half of 2022, and it got delayed till, well, May 2nd. We know that it's coming, so there's not going to be any delays. But maybe it looks like they still need some extra time in the oven. So I really do hope that with that in mind, I really do hope that the lack of performance mode is just going to be the only issue with that game. Like, I don't really want to see any other technical issues, and this is a co-op multiplayer kind of game, so who knows, right? I'm kind of I guess I don't really worry much about the single player campaign, because we know the developers. Arcane is a very good studio when it comes to these single player experiences, a lot of YouTubers and content creators did play the single player campaign mode already, and that's the only one they had access to. So now the question becomes, what about the co-op, right? I just hope that co-op will not tank this game, because I mean, it's, I really do hope this is going to be a good game. But like, listen guys, like, at the end of the day, this is a first party title. They've got all the tech backing of Microsoft and Xbox ATG team, I think they called, right? So Advanced Technology Group at Xbox, and they still couldn't make that game to run at 60 frames per second on at least Xbox Series X. Like, I mean, I guess people would be fine with 30 frames per second on Series S, at least at launch, but on both consoles, really? 4K 30 and no 60 frames per second mode, even in 1080p or 1440p. Listen, I'm not going to lie, this is disappointing. At the end of the day, like, this is Xbox Series X we're talking about here, like the most powerful console on the market right now, at least on the paper. And that's another thing about Xbox these days. It's just like everything seems to be on paper, and it's just getting annoying. I mean, what's the point of owning the most powerful console ever if we get 30 frames per second games? Like, I get it, this is day one, but this is at launch, and they did promise performance mode at the later date. But when? Like, what? 2 days later, 3 days later, 2 months later, 3 years later? We don't know. I mean, by the looks of it, I mean, like, for me personally, I'm only interested in a single player campaign, so I may actually beat that game before that 60 frames per second performance mode will launch. And this is actually weird, because like Deathloop ran very smoothly on Xbox Series X. I think it's based on a similar engine. I mean, it's the same dev team. I mean, not necessarily the dev team, the same studio, I guess. I don't know what to think about it, guys. Like, this news is super disappointing, that's for sure, especially that's coming from Xbox. And on top of that, like, I even said, like, in one of the previous videos, that Redfall is an Unreal Engine 4 game. It's not even like a proper next-gen game per se, if you know what I mean. And 30 frames per second only? I don't know, like, this is weird. This is weird as shit, and Xbox really needs to step up to the plate, and they need to start delivering well-optimized games. And I don't know, like, this is, and another thing is, like, what about Starfield then? Like, if Redfall is 30, I mean, what about Starfield? Like, way more demanding game. Like, I mean, is that going to be a 30 frames per second game too? I hope not. I mean, you know what, at the end of the day, I don't necessarily even care that much per se. Like, I'll be enjoying this game at 60 frames per second day one anyway, because I'll just play it on PC, so it's not necessarily a big problem for me. But, like, I did buy an Xbox Series X for a reason, to use it, not to play on PC. I mean, like I said, no problem there, I can play on PC, but then the question becomes, I mean, what's the point of owning an Xbox if I will be playing games on PC anyway? And to be honest with you, I didn't even invest a lot of money in my PC. I spent like $1,200 on upgrades recently, and like my RTX 3070 beats Xbox and PlayStation like a big time anyway. Maybe not big time, but you know, I do get like 1440p 60 frames per second with a ray tracing in, for example, Ghostwire Tokyo, no problem. And like, you can't get that on Xbox. It's ray tracing 30 frames per second, guys. So I don't know, like when I know that I've been the one also on YouTube, like saying that, oh, you know, these consoles are very powerful and all these, I was talking about these different technologies and that kind of stuff. But the problem is that the developers just don't use them. And that's the problem here. So yeah, guys, I guess enough of me talking about this. So far we have not heard anything, no more details about why that's happening, why Redfall is 30 only. I guess it's a good news that at least we will get 60 frames per second in the future, but I mean, like, this is first party game. It should be 60 day one, period. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I haven't had much time to publish proper news videos. I've been busy with you know, housework and work, and I was painting my house actually. So I'll have more time on my hands moving forward, and so yeah, expect more news, some gameplay videos still, because I actually like doing them, but I'll probably stick to like first look, not proper playthroughs, because nobody really cares about me playing games really. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.